Hi everyone. Sorry I'm late on these, particularly this late, but I'm having some technical difficulties, and it's been a long work week, so I had not a true emotional breakdown, but I had a couple of moments of venting yesterday over something that I'm still trying to get worked out. It's very, very irritating right now. But point being, I'm still doing it. It's the week of what is. I'm still doing my videos because that's what I do. So more to the point, we're continuing off. First off, basically, I have only three what ifs left for the week, and then I go into the week of who would win. Obviously, the Sakura Senju, and the Naruto Mizuki episode ones, but also the Vegeta one. And I had to figure out which one I was going to do, so I figured let's do the Sakura one and the Vegeta one today, because the normal day I do the Naruto Scroll Mizuki ones is on Sunday anyway. So we're doing obviously the what if Vegeta, future Vegeta, come back. Now, someone had made the note that it didn't make much sense that future Vegeta would go back because Saiyan's fight to the end, and he berated Trunks in his Dragon Ball Super arc. But obviously, the topic of what if is what if Vegeta had gone, the future Vegeta had survived and been the one to go to the past instead of Trunks. So you have to take a few things with a grain of salt and a few liberties. But anyway, last time on the Dragon Ball Z What If future Vegeta had gone to the past instead of Trunks? Basically, because future Vegeta would have been a lot more competent of a warrior than Trunks, and would have not had to keep secrets from the Z fighters. He would have been pretty straightforward. Just wouldn't have, brought up things that would have affected anything significant, like affected Trunks being born, affected him and Bulma getting together. He wouldn't have done anything like that, but yeah, he would have told the Z fighters. There's no reason for that. And all the stuff that did happen in the timeline still happened. So we cut to it, and basically it led to future Vegeta killing Semi-Perfect Cell. So we cut over now to the 7-year time skip. So what happens exactly in the 7-year time skip? 17 gets brought back to life because, they wish people back who were killed by Cell anyway. 18 is still alive. She would eventually marry Krillin. 16 gets repaired, and I do think they take the bomb out. Goku is already well beyond stronger than 16 anyway. And I think 16 goes and becomes a ranger with 17. These birds, I shall protect them with my life. So yeah, that's fine. Now someone asked the question, and this is the case. When Goku is alive in these scenarios during the 7-year time skip, obviously Goten is going to be stronger than his canon counterpart. In fact, Goten is going to get a lot stronger naturally because he's probably going to spend a lot of time with his dad because he's not being homeschooled or going to school. And Goku, besides farming, will spend a lot of his time training. So Goten's going to get a lot stronger, and he probably will be stronger than Trunks. But with Goku there, Vegeta will probably also put emphasis on training Trunks as well. So there's going to be that small gap between them, but it's going to be in Goten's favor this time around. Gohan, I always believed that Gohan doesn't get weaker, but Gohan really doesn't get stronger because Chi-Chi's main goal was for him to go to school, get an education, which is why he stopped training for a while. Is why he got weaker. With Goku there, I don't believe he would get weaker. I believe he would definitely at least keep himself sharp enough to go toe-to-toe with it or fight with his dad, things along those lines. In fact, he probably even unlocked Super Saiyan 2 after a while. All of our Saiyan, all of our main Saiyans, Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta, all have Super Saiyan 2. Unfortunately, for those of you who think Goku might have Super Saiyan 3 at this point, no, he does not. I'll often say he's knocking on the door of it. He's getting close. I wouldn't say in this scenario. He's not stronger than he's not even stronger than average in the canon. Normally, if he's got Super Saiyan 2 before the 7-year time skip, that's when I would allow him to have Super Saiyan 3 past the time skip. Even if he's even stronger by the end of the Cell arc than he is in the normal series, I would at least have him knocking on the door. But because he wasn't, because it was just normal Goku, I would say that he definitely has Super Saiyan 2, and he's closing in on Super Saiyan 3. He's not knocking on the door. Knocking on the door for me means he's damn close. But he's, instead of knocking on the door, he's more maybe a block away, basically. He's getting there, but it would take some time. And I just to quickly reiterate as well, I fully believe with enough time Goku would have hit Super Saiyan 3. I hear people arguing, cool, he had a dead body. Then how come Gotenks can reach Super Saiyan 3? He's got a living body. Well, that's the magic of the Potara. Yeah, the magic of Potara ran out in 5 minutes because they hit Super Saiyan 3. The magic of the Potara doesn't change the fact that they still have physical limitations as a living mortal. It defeats the whole point of your argument. It's like Goku's dead body versus magic. It doesn't work that way, at least not in my opinion. Also, Vegeta will be a lot more laxed because Goku's there. I would imagine him and Goku even go toe to toe for once in a while, probably training in Kami's lookout. Even because they have Dende in this scenario, they do. He's the Guardian Earth. I would imagine that. Did they? I have to believe is when he got older, but when he got older, he was already so. I can't remember. Did they say when they changed up the whole hyperbolic time chamber rules, you can go in any amount of times you want? Because Dende, I think it was tied to the Guardian Kami, in which case, and how many times you could go in there. Dende was a stronger guardian than Kami was, so I don't know. Point being, they would still train probably on Kami's lookout, maybe at Kame's house, which means Goku would be chilling with Krillin a bit more often, Roshi. Hell, I think even Vegeta might take a few lessons from Roshi now and then just to get some training from other sources. Remember, Vegeta's very prideful, but if he's got an opportunity to learn something that could benefit him, and train to do so, he will do it. Still, Goku would, I think, edge out Vegeta in this case, but Vegeta, would probably be getting close, despite being stronger in his canon counterpart. God, try saying that. Canon counterpart. Say that a couple times fast. It's not easy. He's not as strong as Goku, but he's much closer than he was. Because if the Majin symbol does boost your strength somewhat, and Goku and him were relatively evened out when they were fighting during the Buu arc, it lends the credence that Vegeta was not as strong as Goku, especially because we know Super Saiyan 3. But ultimately, anyway, so we cut to the World Martial Arts Tournament, and I mean Hercule Satan's still the martial arts champ. Most of this stuff is going to go down pretty much the same. Videl will stalk Gohan. Gohan will avoid her. He'll become the Great Saiyaman because, oh god, sorry, ate a little bit ago. Because reasons. Because that was done. Could have at least chose a better outfit, Gohan. Come on. Honestly, the black and green was not a bad style choice, really. It's just the cape and the helmet was really bad. So there is that. That's all going to go down the same. When you get to the tournament, all the bouts are pretty much going to go exactly the way they did. There's nothing that's really going to change except for the fact that Gohan, when he gets his energy stolen, we know for a fact is weaker than his canon counterpart. Initially, and his full power Super Saiyan 2 back in the Buu saga was about half of Majin Buu's power, assuming that Yamu and Spopovich hadn't stolen anyone else's energy at that point. And we know that Dabura's power is like 4,000 kills, however that is. So, and that he's as strong as Perfect Cell, probably super perfect Cell. So we can kind of gauge where that stood at that point. And Gohan couldn't beat Dabura on outright. He couldn't own Dabura like he did Super Perfect Cell. And honestly, Gohan's power probably was still enough to beat Super Perfect Cell if he had all of his, if he was at full power instead of getting his arm mangled. But point being, because Gohan is at full power, and I like it to it, Gohan was probably at, if he was strong, he wasn't half as weak and he maybe even a little stronger because he got a more mature body now. But I would put him at, he's not double his power from the Cell saga, but he's Buu would probably be closer to like 80% complete at that point. So the Z Fighters would go off. do her thing. Quick note of fact, I think Goten, or quick point of fact, I think Goten would actually be the one who wins the kids division of the tournament. And then they still want to go take on 18, and they take on 18. They get found out, and they bolt. Now in that fight, they'd actually probably give 18 a probably solid fight. I should say that because here's the thing, neither one of them could be 18 on their own. That's pretty much easy to figure that out. 18 was pretty much toying with them for a little bit. It was only when they were both taking her on at the same time when they got found out that she was at least taking them seriously and not to be like dodging and blocking. But ultimately, she probably could have beaten them without too much difficulty, which would have been fun to see, or basically just spanking those kids. Because really, Trunks more so than Goten, but they're both kind of a little bit of brats. Goten's not really that much of a brat, but when you combine him with Trunks, who is a brat, yeah. So anyway, they'll go off. First off, Dabura would turn them to Krillin and Piccolo to stone, as he does initially. Kills Kibito. Then they go into the chamber, Babidi's ship. Vegeta takes out Pui. Goku takes out Yakon. Then the Gohan versus Dabura fight happens. Now, first off, hardly any energy has been taken from them at this point. So Buu's maybe like 82%. Gohan versus Dabura. Now, because Gohan isn't any weaker in this version, has still kept his abilities sharp with training with his dad, and is actually maybe even just a tad bit stronger, the fight doesn't go the same way it does in the actual series. Gohan is actually able to keep up with Dabura pretty easily. In fact, Dabura is still tricky with his abilities and still not a pushover, but he is pushing Dabura back and landing solid blows and pretty much controlling the fight for what it's worth. Dabura would throw out a couple of techniques like his petrification saliva, which, Gohan blocks with a glove, turns a stone, throws it off, and, he avoids it from there on in. I do think Dabura rabbits before he can get out, though. Gohan isn't as naturally born a warrior as Vegeta and Goku are. So he's a bit less inclined to just finish his opponent off if he can't see a proper opening. Though Dabura definitely aided in the energy gathering. I'd say Boo's like at 95% at this point, and they're like, "Oh, Boo's so close. I can nearly taste it. Oh, but they're getting close to Boo. You nearly failed me. However, your energy did suffice in giving Boo a proper boost." So Dabura did his part. Babidi even congratulates him for that. So how basically they would allow them to get down to the bottom, basically where Buu is kept. Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, and Shen are all there, and then Dabura gets a giant Lugia prepared, and then they have to get out of the way, blast it out of the way. But Dabura comes in, tries to slice Gohan, but Goku comes in just Super Saiyan flared. And 7 years training between Goku and Vegeta and Gohan. Goku's probably a little stronger than his canon counterpart. Nothing serious, but he is stronger, I'd imagine. But anyway, he grabs the blade, or I believe Dabura could make a sword, and he can make a spear. I know that. Grabs the blade, Dabura tries to kill him, and then just looks him in the eye and just smacks him straight in the face, and then just Vegeta comes in and just blasts him. Unfortunately, that is enough to release Buu. Now, Boo's full power was around, when he was released, was roughly speaking twice as much as Gohan's. And then he got more power by eating Dabura. He pretty much took on all of Dabura's energy. And as Buu, he can take on anyone's energy as he keeps turning them into food and eating them. So because Dabura got killed, Piccolo and Krillin both got released. And I think this is before Trunks and Goten came along and turned and smashed Piccolo by mistake. So basically, the Buu is definitely a lot weaker. So they still sense this power, and they're all three of them. Four, if you got Shin, are a bit freaked out, and they just say, "Oh, Buu, you're finally here! passes it, Boo. It's like, Boo! And it's like, is this really Majin Buu? There's been no change. So Boo, smacks Gohan around a little bit, and so Goku and Vegeta both take on Boo. I think Vegeta has mellowed to a degree. Still not super levels, but even this Vegeta, if he senses a force that he can sense the evil and the malice nature of Boo coming off him, I don't think he has any qualms this time around, even though he would prefer to try to take them on individually. It's like, no, it's like, here's my guy. It's like, no, Vegeta, he's ours. It's like, deal with the fact that we need to take him on together or not, or don't deal with it at all. So, maybe Goku would berate him a little bit and he'd agree. I think he'd reluctantly agree, but he'd agree because Vegeta's allowed that before anyway. He's just like, all right, team up time. They come in, they're double teaming Boo, and Boo is ultimately stronger than each of them individually, but together, and because their teamwork, though sporadic, is actually quite effective, they are able to overwhelm Boo. Now, but I don't think they're fully capable of killing Boo. See, in different incarnations of these what ifs when we get to the Boo saga, them tag teaming, like Gohan, Vegeta, and Goku tag teaming Boo, I feel could be enough to defeat Boo. But the problem here is, in those versions, they're usually much stronger in that version of the story than in the actual canon. And this Vegeta and Goku are maybe a little bit stronger. Gohan is maybe a little bit stronger. So Gohan maybe joins in the fray too. Boo's using all his weird techniques and stuff like that. And because they haven't demonstrated the candy beam yet, I do think one of them gets zapped by the candy beam. I think it would be Gohan too. And, he gets eaten and gains his strength. And, yeah, then you have the problem that Boo just absorbed all of Gohan's strength by eating him. So, then you add on Gohan's full power, add it on to Boo, and then fighting Goku and Vegeta, and they're fighting a losing battle, my friend. But I think Shin does pull a 180 and basically takes the two of them out of there, back to Supreme Kai's world. And they heal him. I was like, God, and they explain the Z sword and all that. Now Boo's gonna wreak havoc. There is no fusion dance because Goku didn't die to learn it. But Vegeta and him are practicing with the Z sword, and I do believe together they would break the Z sword and release the old Kai. Now I think they would very likely have their inner potential unlocked to deal with that whole scenario. And I think it would be Goku. It's like Vegeta's like, no, Kakarot too. It's like, oh, pipe down. I'll unlock both your energies. It's like, fine, but I get it first. All right, bus buddy, you can get it first. So I think Vegeta, actually, I have to take that back. Vegeta would get it first because he insist on it. Get his hidden potential unlocked, which, let's be clear, from the Saiyan's hidden potential up until that point, remember, God, it's basically you have a peak, whatever your peak was. At that point in time, well, it's never fully explained, but it's like all your hidden potential. It's a matter of, what's the best way to put it? You'll hit a certain level once you unlock your energy. Like Gohan easily outmatched Super Buu when he came back to Earth, so it went well beyond what he was personally capable of. I think it'd be equivalent of if Gohan had hit Super Saiyan 3 at that point. That's what his power would have been like. But there's also the fact that as long as you're training and fighting, you will continually grow stronger and stronger and stronger. There's no limit now to your power. But you do still have a natural peak that you reach. And if Vegeta had hit Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta hits his first. And then Vegeta would be the first one to go. So Capito brings him to Earth. Goku would go next. And here's the difference between Gohan and Vegeta. Well, difference in this sense anyway. Gohan got drunk on his power, but Gohan has always been gotten drunk on his. If you watch, anytime Gohan gets a power up and starts to own his opponent, it happened with Cell. He got drunk off Super Saiyan 2. It happened with when he got his power unlocked. I'm trying to think if there's another point in time. I don't think there's another, but when he got those super transformation, he got drunk off his power. And Piccolo pointed that out too, I believe, when they were training. You got drunk off your power, kid, back then. Vegeta got drunk, but in a different way. It was more that it was his pride, not the fact that he was intoxicated by his powers. Like, no one can beat me. No, it was more just like the pride and the and the uh, and the Saiyan warrior in him that took pride in that power. He was just he enjoyed the fact that he was as strong as he was. And while there's precedent for Vegeta to be not Vegeta wasn't drunk off his power per se. He was just arrogant. There's a difference. He's always been arrogant. Gohan, see there, and that's the difference between drunk on power and being just naturally arrogant. Vegeta's always been naturally arrogant. Gohan is not. Therefore, Gohan got drunk off his power and therefore indulging too much. Or Vegeta just naturally arrogant. Vegeta's toned down enough. I think he would just take Buu out pretty quick. I mean, he'd probably vent a little on Buu, but he'd ultimately take Buu out pretty quick. And there's also that's assuming Earth is still there. I will give, for the sake of this, we'll say Earth is still there, and a couple of them have been hiding, like a Dende and Hercule are still hiding out, but I think almost everyone else has had to stall and do the best they can, and didn't work out. But ultimately, Goku or Vegeta does end up actually killing Super Buu. So they use the Earth Dragon Balls, wish everyone back. Which, how does that work by with Earth Dragon Balls? If you can't be wished back more than once, but if you just say, "Hey, the people that Cell killed, hey, the people that Buu killed," aren't there a lot of those people the same people? I'm sure they are within 7 years, unless they all were just old people that died, or people with cancer, or just hit by a car. And then eventually Goku would show back up with his hidden potential unlocked. Again, naturally being a little stronger than Vegeta, just because of how they've progressed. And I didn't want to make this a 3-parter. You know what? Maybe I'll end up doing, because I got the Oscars video, I got another What If tomorrow, and I've got the box office video. Maybe I'll cap out this What If tomorrow, because we're going to basically be going into Super in a little bit. But needless to say, Goku doesn't need to do neither of them have to do the Super Saiyan transformations anymore. So I guess briefly we'll go over Battle of Gods more than anything else to sum it up. But to sum it up, the Buu saga ends with Vegeta actually taking the win again. Everything working out in general, and both Vegeta and Goku having hidden potentials unlocked. Head into Super, Goku's training on King Kai's planet as he is. Beerus shows up, and Goku basically goes into he doesn't. Is it really a transformation? I mean, it is kind of a form change to some degree, but it's not an actual transformation. But anyway, he powers up, and at this point Goku is well beyond Super Saiyan 3 at this point. His power, because Goku doesn't stop training. He may slack a little bit in his training, but he doesn't do what like Gohan did and just quit altogether. So he'll gradually grow stronger and stronger no matter what, as long as he's training and fighting. Therefore, Goku would naturally be stronger than he was when he fought Beerus, and Beerus would take note of his strength. Like, my, this is quite impressive. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, this is the old Kai's work, isn't it, Whis? It does seem like that, Lord Beerus. So Goku and him duke it out. Now, I think Goku does manage to get a lucky hit in. I think because Beerus did take Goku mildly not truly seriously, but he actually put the effort into block when Goku was Super Saiyan 3. Goku goes beyond that power. I think Beerus is like, okay, Beerus is like, oh my, and then Goku actually gets that lucky shot in, and boom, and it's like, my, I almost felt that. My turn, and then chops Goku down. Same thing happens, except Buu's well, no, actually, I think Hercule would ask to have the Big Buu say, well, no. I think Fat Buu is annihilated with Super Buu, because the reason he asked to have him saved is because he was there last time. He was actually out of Kid Buu. So, more or less, things go the same, though Beerus is a lot easier to handle because Boo's not there to steal the pudding. Eventually, he gets bored and asks, where's the Super Saiyan God? Where is it? And then he smacks Bulma. Vegeta maybe has that moment and is like, yo, bastard, that's my Bulma! And his anger does, they still get those rage boosts, even with the limitless potential unlocking, which, here's an interesting concept. If you do have your hidden potential unlocked, gradually grow stronger no matter what, and you get a rage boost. Does that rage boost just permanently add on to your power? I mean, it's improving in terms of your power. Normally, it's more like a temporary boost with your transformations as a Super Saiyan, but with your hidden potential, that's a gray area. For the sake of for not doing inconsistent storytelling, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. That won't be the case. You'll still get those boosts, but it's not gonna be anything serious. And again, he overwhelms Beerus temporarily and ultimately goes nowhere. Goku shows up. They do the Super Saiyan God transformation. He's stronger naturally in this because of just the Saiyans being there, and because he's already naturally stronger. So his God form, I think, is stronger. But ultimately, he would still lose the fight. It all goes the same. Normally, I'd say Resurrection F arc goes the same too, but that's where we're going to leave it off at the Battle of Gods arc, because the Resurrection F arc is going to play out a little differently, because we're going to have to reveal a few new concepts here. And it's a concept that I think I've done before with Gohan and a few other videos, but we're going to deal with that when we get to it. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win. Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, What If, anything I do on this channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll do it at some point. Got one more What If and a who would win to do. So see you in a little bit.